So, well, 100 Thieves looks like straight shit. Team Liquid also look like straight shit.
C9 might need a better mid laner.
We're going to MSI, probably as the second seed. And you know what else?
Fucking clapped.
We'll also be talking about Danny, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, Danny.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 7, episode 8. The reason why we didn't have an episode last week for G2 winning the LEC 2023 winter split was because I needed a break. As you guys know, we go through a lot of League of Legends gameplay for you guys, and when I get a chance after a team wins a championship, I take my week break. And as you guys know, spring for the LEC is going to start kicking off very soon. So, just took a quick little week break. And then, we'll be having the episode for G2 this week. Then after that, in week 8, we probably won't be having an episode. We won't be having 2 episodes in week 8. We'll just be having the one on that Sunday because we're most likely going back to the LCS for the Super Week on week 8. So that's going to be really fun. Let me check when the LEC 2023 spring split starts, and then I'll let you guys know. Wait, it starts this week? So they took a week break, and they're just going back into it?
About 2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
Because they
you're right. It'll be about you're right. Yeah.
Because I think they start on the 11th. You can check, but I remember.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the 11th is
Saturday.
What is it?
Saturday.
That's Saturday. Yeah. So they start literally this. They got to get their spring split done because MSI is I think it's in May, April, May. MSI is around May.
Yeah, it's like early, mid-May.
And then they still got to do fucking playoffs and all that shit. So, so that's why.
They do 3 weeks because they do 3 games apiece, and then they do playoffs.
3 weeks of BO1s, then the BO3s, and then so that's why we took our little week off. But, coming back this week, we'll have the episode off for you guys talking about the G2 Mad Lion series, Mad Lion versus SK, Mad Lions versus Koi. We'll talk about the LCK too. We'll go over some of the matches from the LCK. All the news, yeah.
Pretty much, the only thing we'll talk about LCK is how T1 is like...
How T1 won't win MSI. That's going to be the conversation is, how will T1 not win MSI?
I think T1's coming for everything this year.
Because the thing that happened last year that no one remembers is that was Gumayusi's first actual year of a full play of competitive. Gumayusi actually played for T1 in the Gauntlet in 2021 when he was under Teddy. He was the sub for Teddy. Then at Worlds, Teddy lost a game, and then they put in Gumayusi ever since that one game at Worlds 2021. So he really didn't even get a full season in 2021. Then in 2022, they play him for the full year. He looks really, really good in spring. He has that rough patch at MSI where he's looking off for some reason. Then after they lose MSI, he goes back to Korea. He doesn't look as good. Then he completely rebounds for Worlds. He looks great at Worlds. It's the best ADC by far at Worlds. And then he's taken his form back in 2023 as well. He's looked really, really good. So I think it's more probable that T1 win MSI this year than last year, given the fact that this T1, it's the same players, but these guys are a lot better now than what they were last year. I can tell you that. And last year, they went undefeated in the LCK. They went full 18-0. But there was a problem with that. There's a problem with that. When they had their key matchups against Genji and Damwon, as you guys remember, Showmaker had COVID, and some of the key players for Genji and Damwon ended up getting COVID, so they had to play with subs and
And they look better this year. I think also losing the finals the way they did put a
Carrier for sure looks like the best player in the world on a support.
Carrier out here with troll picks.
This man plays his troll picks as good as the meta picks, then plays the meta picks at the best possible level.
You got.
Then he also innovates the meta with his Caitlyn supports and shit like that. Like he just does everything.
You got Gen G out here trying to try how hard they can, and Kara's like, I'm gonna just go pick Caitlyn and support and just wax. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, come on, man. It's like
then. You have that amazing series with DK and T1, only for in game 3 for Carrier to go, you know what, Keelan, you're not as good as me. I'm picking Callista support, bruh. Because that's the thing I told people, is like the DK roster, minus Showmaker losing his mind, apparently. Keelan is not good either. What was his name? Duck Dom and Keelan were not good.
Oh, no,
even at Worlds, like, people forget, Worlds is such a crazy what's the word? Worlds is such a crazy lever for a lot of people. I said at Worlds, Damwon would perform well because, I mean, give or take, this team is not that good in Korea, but against any other team, they'll just kind of wax them. Damwon played well at Worlds, but that wasn't who they are. It's the same thing with DRX. That's not who they are. They're not good. Like, Showmaker and Kangen are really good, but Keelan and Duck Dom, they're not. That team did very, very well at Worlds, and I knew they would. And then they faced Gen G, who was the worst possible matchup for them to face in that round. And then, because I'll be honest with you guys, if they face anybody else outside of maybe T1, they'd probably end up also going top 4 at Worlds too. Like if fucking Damwon had faced off against Rogue, come on, like that's a wash. Come on, that's just a straight wash, no matter what.
I think every team is being Rogue.
I think if Damwon had actually faced DRX, it's hard to say if DRX would have actually gone through, because DRX very, very struggled against Damwon all year. Because I don't think Showmaker.
I think at the time, I think if they played them as soon as they got into the group,
because remember, Damwon and DRX were both ramping up, so that would have. I still think it would be 5 games. It's hard to say.
I think Damwon might have pulled that out
because I don't think Damwon would let DRX get away with the mistakes that Gen G was letting them do. Because Gen G would let them get away with a lot of mistakes. Like I think if Damwon even faced EDG, like if Damwon faced EDG, I think Damwon pulls that out too. Honestly,
I think also if Top Esports would have got it instead of Rogue,
because they would have faced JDG. Oh, yeah. that'd been a pretty nice one. I still think Top would have lost. People honing on Top Esports so hard. Okay, so with me and league analysis for anyone who's going to watch this, it always, you got to ask me on any given day about what I really think. Because, like, if you're going to keep telling me this org and these players are really, really good, you have to perform. Like, you have to win. I'm sorry, and it's the same thing I always say for Chovy, too. No one's doubting that Chovy's a really good player, but Chovy is a glorified KDA player. If Showmaker didn't lose his mind this year, after, like, 3 weeks, if you were building a team, who would you pick? Chovy or Showmaker? I would choose Showmaker because Showmaker not only knows how to play well in lane, he also knows how to extend his lead outside of his lane, and he knows when to sacrifice. Chovy does not. There's a reason why Chovy doesn't beat Faker constantly. I've been watching Chovy ever since he was in the fucking Challenger League. This man has not changed. Yeah, he's done some stuff differently at this point, but it's not really ever changed that much. Chovy, I think he's what, 12-1 against Faker in finals? That's disgusting. This guy's touted as one of the best mids ever. His first year he played against Faker in the finals. His first actual year was 2019. Guess how many games he won against Faker in the finals? Both finals.
0-1.
The first finals he got blown out 3-0, and the next finals he got blown out 3-1.
Damn.
Then he faced Faker with Gen G last year in spring. Guess how many games he won?
2.
1.
Damn.
He is 2-9 against Faker in finals. Well, sorry, 3. How many games you had to win for BO5? 3. He'd be 4-9 because remember Gen G won 3 games against T1 in summer. So if you take out just last summer for Gen G, Chovy before that BO5 was 1-9, 2-9 against Faker. 2-9.
Out of the 4 series they played against each other, Chovy only beat him once.
Chovy only beat him in one of the series, actually, which was last summer before Worlds. And that was when he won 3-0. That was what it was back-to-back T1 Gen G finals last year. So yeah, it was Chovy versus Faker. In 2021, Faker faced Chovy for the gauntlet when he was on Hanwha Life. Faker beat him then 3-0. Faker always destroys this guy. Like, so if you count that, that'd be like he's like 4-12 against Faker in BO5s. He's only won one championship against Faker. That was really only because T1 were just not as good as Genji and Summer. They kind of like started playing really bad. So, yeah, I mean, that's just me personally. If you keep telling me a motherfucker is good and he just doesn't ever win a lot, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, he can still be good, but he's not as good as you're making him out to be. Because to be as good as you make someone out to be, they have to win something. I'm sorry, they have to win something. Yeah, Chovy's won one LCK title. Yeah, he's won one. He's been to the finals a bunch of times. You know, that's commendable in and of itself. But it seems also at Worlds, at the World Championship, he plays very well until playoffs. He always seems to choke when it comes to playoffs too. Because like Genji realistically should not have lost to DRX in that semifinals. But Chovy decides to himself, hey, I just want to sit in lane and just do nothing the whole time. If that was anybody else doing what Chovy did, imagine that was Bjergsen on Genji, sitting in lane, just doing nothing but fuck all. He would get flamed out his ass, right? Yes, because that's bad to do. But if it's Chovy, people are like, oh, he's just CSing. It's like, give me your fucking gun, man. People are, so you said it was last week, selective bias with some people.
Yeah.
It's selective bias. Like, literally, if any other mid played the way he did at World's top 4 last year against DRX, they would get flamed out their ass.
It's the selective bias plus expectation.
You know what T1 does a mistake? People are like, "Oh, it's just T1." It's like, what the? If that was an NA team doing a mistake, you wouldn't hear the end.
Oh yeah. Because in their minds, expectations that they know that T1 can ramp up and get good, while some people are like,
"Well, we're in NA, and you know."
Yeah, and then it's also that selective bias when someone's like, oh, you know, the reason why I let this person do this and you do this, because it's a selective bias like expected expectation.
It's content creators, like certain league content creators, perpetuating these players up to levels they have not even achieved. Like, you know, people will keep telling you Knight's really good. I think Knight is really good too, but Knight at Worlds has never been as good as a lot of people.
It was like last year. Who was it? Who were the two junglers that everybody kept? Peanut and Peanut.
People kept hyping up Peanut and Kanavi was on JDG. Kanavi actually played really well. Peanut did not.
Didn't know.
And then Canyon just walks up and just outperforms them both.
Oh no, it was Peanut and Kane. It was Peanut and Kane because people kept saying Peanut was better than Kane. But
yeah, because he lost. Yeah, I remember what you said.
Mm-hmm. And then Kane beat Peanut. I'm like, wait a second.
They're like, but Peanut beat Canyon all year in the LCK. Yeah, when Damwon's bot lane is Keelan and Duck Trash and Genji has Ruler and fucking Life. I imagine the difference between that.
Like the year, I forgot what baseball year it was, where the Mets kept losing to a certain team, and then when it got to the playoffs, the Mets like beat them 4 games. I think it was the Mets. All I know is the series ended in 4 games. It was like, oh, how did the team get so good? Adjustments, like the fuck. It was like, okay,
it's like one of those things of, you know, people were hyping up like Canyon because people were down on him because Damwon was having a bad year.
Yeah.
At Worlds, I was like, guys, it doesn't matter how bad he's in the LCK. He's going to clap every single person that's not probably a Korean jungler. And he ran through everybody. He ran through Yankos, who's the best jungler in the West. Ran through him. It was like, oh, that's cool. You're the best in the West. That don't mean shit to me. It's disgusting. Like, but you know, it just sucks this year for him because, man, just watching them is just, come on. I know they're much better than this. I know Canyon and Showmaker are much better than this. But Showmaker has lost his mind. He's like, he doesn't feel the love for playing competitive league anymore. And that is the worst time to have that right now. But surprisingly, they ended up they've bounced back. They're on a 4-game win streak right now. They've managed to, you know, pull shit together a little bit right now. The LCK has their top 6 right now. I think that this is going to be their top 6. T1, D plus Kia, Genji, Hanwha Life, KT Roaster, and Live Assbox. And Korea this year now has a losers bracket. Last year they didn't have a losers bracket in their playoffs when they switched it. Because Korea's playoff system was jank as fuck before. It was top 5 get in, not top 6, top 5.
Oh shit.
And the first and the lowest seeds, they don't play a BO5 for getting into the playoffs the first time. Guess what they played? They played a fucking BO3. Then, if you were first seed, you auto-qualified to the finals.
What?
They just changed that last year. Bro, Korea's playoff system was jank as fuck.
Oh, okay. That's why T1 was always in the final because they were just always auto qualify that bullshit.
Or sometimes yeah, or be Damwon who'd be auto qualified when they were good, or be Ku Tigers team. Because sometimes T1 would get like second place in some splits, and then they would just run through everybody.
Would you say T1's better when in second place because they just
I would say Peanut's teams did choke a lot. Like even when Peanut was really really good, he choked in his finals against Faker. It's crazy how these hyped up players always choke against Faker and SKT. Oh, it's crazy how that happens. It's like they have some fucking aura around them that just makes the better. He's actually the better player at the time, and just completely mentally collapse. Peanut choked against Faker later on in 2016 when they were at World Semis. Remember? I was okay. So Peanut faced up against Faker in spring when he was on Ku Tigers or Rocks Tigers. Was in loses to Faker 3-1, then faces Faker in World Semis in 2016, loses him in a 5-game series. It's like I always find that weird how T1's able to do that. There's always, and these guys are better throughout the year mostly anyway, right? But T1's always more clutch. They always manage to pull it together, even when they're not even the better team on paper. It's like this team should lose. It's
adjustments. That's why I said
they had a really legendary coach named Koma. Koma was with Faker a lot when he was winning his world championships. Koma was so good at adjusting. He would know, okay, my bot lane's underperforming on this. You're not playing these picks anymore. Like, man, it's because I don't believe Trophy's bad. I really don't. But when this man constantly just loses to Faker the way he does, it's like, bruh, come on, man. Are you overhyped? Are people overhyping this guy? Or because I don't know how do you really judge that? Because content creators for the league space will always do that too. They'll be like hyping players up to the moon, and then when they don't perform very well, they're like, I don't know. You're the one who started it. Then this is what I always do. I can acknowledge a player is good. He's underrated, but he's got to win something. You got to win something. I don't care if you win domestic once. I don't give a fuck. Something. Win something. Because, I mean, hey, one thing Kobe Bryant said at the best, banter is temporary, trophies are forever.
Yeah.
Bruh. Faker's got 10 of them. This man has 10 trophies. Not counting his worlds and his MSI trophies, too.
Yeah.
Man's got a whole room just stacked of fucking accolades.
Oh, shit.
I wonder, has Faker ever been MVP? I think he's only won MVP once. I forgot. LCA does about the goddamn voting system. Fuck. But yes, Korea's playoff system was always dog shit. Always dog shit. They just changed it last year. Like Gen G would like auto qualify for finals half the time, lose half the finals half the time. Bro, this region's playoff system was dog shit despite being the fucking best region in the world. But time to go over some NA, actually. So, okay, so people are going to ask us about the Danny situation. I am not scared about talking about the Danny situation at all. I actually have a dedicated video I'm going to do about the Danny situation that I was thinking about at work today. Okay, but before I do that, because I got my Fnatic video done. I got that done. I got to upload that. That video's finished. My next video is the Danny one. What I will say about the Danny situation is actually about the Travis Gafford point. So for no one who knows this, Travis was actually dating Nicola Point Jameson, the African-American lady who's the current CEO of EG, right when EG came into the franchising system after Rick Fox's team was kicked out for stupid reasons. And I mean really stupid reasons. Riot let them go. There was a meeting that got leaked where one of the investors in Echo Fox was being racist to Rick Fox, and Riot said either remove that guy or you got to sell your slot, which is already that's how stupid that sounds. I know that's crazy. I still can't fathom it on my brain either. Long story short, Echo Fox do sell their slot for fucking dumb reasons. EG gets the slot. Travis ends up dating her. Then Travis on his Hotline League show, because this is how Travis has always functioned. Travis, whenever hot button issues always get brought up, always just avoids them. Yet claims he's a journalist. This man claims he's a journalist. It runs away from every hot button story to ever come out in the LCS. And I started watching back in 2014 Worlds. I remember I'm still not talking about controversial shit at that time period.
I mean, most journalists back in the day did that. I think what it was is if you have an emotional tie to it, you tend to want to stay away. Mm-hmm. Or it's like, but the good thing about most journalists, they do end up reporting it because they're like, cool. I gotta report this. This is news.
Remember what? Because that thing you talked about on his Hotline League episode. Dude, I mean, honestly, I haven't watched Hotline League in
because he was on
long time.
because he was on his live stream. I didn't know he was doing
literally
the show.
Ever since Warren joined when Warren joined us, 2021. Because I never watched like that consistently. I only watched so I could go into his Discord and ask him if he want to join the league show I was trying to get together. Once that was done, I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. It's just ass. That show is terrible. Outside of Mark Z, obviously, who's great. Yeah, that show sucks.
I think it was him, Mark Z. Yeah, because
why would I watch Hotline League when either we could do a show that I know is better? I mean, less people watch, but whatever. I could watch Summoning Insight, which is literally 8 times better.
Yeah.
I could watch anything Monty and Thorin do on their league channel, which is 8 times better. I mean, like, why would I watch
LS? LS is
I could watch anything Ellis and Cage will do. I'll watch the dive over watching Hotline League. No offense to the dive. I actually like the dive.
I like the dive. I like the dive depending on like how they started. Sometimes
you have Euphoria. That one could be hit or miss sometimes, but I'd rather watch that. Like Hotline League is fucking dog shit. Then this fucking dude on his show, when people ask him about the Danny situation, know what he does? Know what he says, guys? He says this. He says, I contacted my sources and they said nothing was going on. Oh, fuck. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know the context of this, he used to date the current CEO of EG. Gee, I wonder why she would just tell you if bad things were happening if they were getting accused.
Was his source a wall? Like, what the fuck?
His source was the actual lady. He used to date her. I imagine he still has her phone number. They still follow each other on Twitter. I imagine he still could DM her. He literally just did an inspired interview on his YouTube channel. So how would he get that? Because if they didn't allow him to get that, they would just say, hey, you can't interview our players because LCS teams have this thing of like blacklisting people. So maybe he doesn't want to get blacklisted from getting interviews with certain orgs because that will hurt his livelihood. And the LCS has also kind of, and a lot of the orgs, I'm not going to say which ones, have cultivated this state of fear where people don't speak out or do anything unless it's like super, super severe. So the Carlos situation last year, that's crazy. That's actually a year old now. It's crazy. So the Carlos situation last year, when Carlos did nothing wrong, but post a video about him hanging out with a friend, which was Andrew Tate. Then everybody and their mom was just trying to cancel this guy. They're just like, you know what? I know that that's a 10-second video. I know what you did for this league scene for the last, I don't know, since 2016, but we're going to cancel you because everything Andrew Tate ever did, said, done in his life, we now put on you and you're canceled. This fucking G2 org makes a post. We don't condone misogyny. Also, everybody's talking about it. Danny's situation pops up. Pretty big one, right? Crickets, essentially. Some people that have really talked about it, Azale's made a quote tweet about it. LS has talked about it. I will do my own video about it.
Yeah.
Monty and Thorin, they did their four horsemen episode. Richard Lewis did his article, and Thorin had his own video. And then these fucking idiots, Danny goes on his Twitter page. Danny himself, right? I use it in quotations because that wasn't Danny who wrote that. That wasn't Danny who wrote that. That was a PR person that EG hired to do that for.
I would assume it was not Danny. We don't know. We have no.
That's what I was gonna say, because people are gonna ask, how do you know that? Well, if you go back and look at Danny's tweets before that happened, I don't think this guy could write something like that. I just don't think he can.
Yeah, I would assume it's not him.
I don't think he could structure the sentence that way. And whenever an org announces a streamer, new content creator, they put it out on their official Twitter page. They do a small little video, right?
Or what they do now.
They'll link you their YouTube channel. They'll be like, hey, subscribe to this person. He's our new content creator. Come, go say hi to him.
They'll do shorts. And plus with Danny, they'll put, he went from a league player. Now you can see him play league on Twitch. Right. Something like that. I don't know. It makes sense because the way a lot of these orgs do it, they would have had a transition where you see him playing league.
And what did Danny do for that? And what did he do? He announced that in a three paragraph Twitter thread. He doesn't even link his own stream. That's the people say it's in his bio. Guys, people are stupid. I have told people for years, read the description box below for YouTube videos, and people still don't do that. So don't give me that. Oh, they'll just read his bio. People are not that smart, guys. I promise you.
People don't read it on Twitch. People don't read it on Kick. People don't really learn anything.
People are not as self-aware as you guys might think, honestly. Just saying.
You gotta put the video at the end. The video that you want people to watch at the end, you gotta put it at the end, or you gotta tell them, "Oh, link down in the description," or sometimes what you can do is put the link down in the comment section.
Here, he mentions, "I'm an official member of EG's Creator Collective." EG doesn't post about this on their official Twitter page. Like, guys, it's so. If he wrote that, Curtis to him, that's pretty good PR just on your own. I severely doubt he wrote that all by himself. If he's autistic, if he's the way he is that people have said, how could I believe in my own good mind he wrote all that? And then, because remember, the blame's all to EG. He's not to blame at all, honestly. The first thing he says was that the accusations, he said, "I want to tell you that it is completely on me." He puts all the blame on him. Now, in this thread, he doesn't even go over the accusations. Nothing. He goes over the accusations. Oh, people say, "Oh, but Danny's the person I believe because he's..." Bro, people are fucking bots. Oh my god. Why would the person under contract with the org say what the org did in bad when they're getting accused of it? By multiple people. This isn't just one person. This is multiple people saying this. And this is also Stewie2K, who's on CSGO. He's played for Cloud9. He said, random CSGO player, a lot of people don't know who that is. Stewie2K's famous CSGO player. He said EG's management is trash. He said it. He's not even in league. He said this org communication is trash. And people want to say L for Thorin, L for person. Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean you just get to disregard their information just because you don't like them. I don't like a lot of people. But if you were telling me something you had proof with and you had factual things to back it up, I would go, okay, I believe you. I don't like you still. But I would go, okay, you got a point there, you know? Yeah, like, I understand Richard and Thorne can be kind of like dickheads, but, I mean, that's just people in Europe. I'm not excusing that. People in Europe are actual dickheads half the time. They're just
blunt.
That's just the way they are. You know, I'm used to it. I've interacted with a lot of European people. They're just blunt, and they can be dickheads sometimes. But that doesn't discredit the work that they do. You know? Like, people know Thorin's thing is he does good journalistic work. People who don't even like Thorin said his journalistic work is really good. So why would I in good conscience believe that he would just fake all that for views? I mean, he put out a random video that shit gets like 7,000 views. It's like, people don't understand. It's not about views and it's not about clicks and all that stuff. These guys don't have to generate that. They're not in that type of lane to do that. Yeah. I don't personally believe. I mean, I might be wrong. Who knows? But I've seen Thorin since 2014, and I've seen him crack stories that ended up becoming true. People, you know, eventually down the line when NDAs are not involved, they admit to everything. So I'm supposed to believe just randomly he would just lie about Dan? No, I really believe something happened. And I'll make my video later. I can go fully more in depth with it. But the thing here about it is, do people not find it weird that when Danny won, after they lost to RNG at the MSI last year, he literally tweeted, because they were right about that. I saw the tweet too. If you go back and check, I think it's still there maybe. He said, "I want to take a break." He literally said, "I want a break." Yeah. He said that after they won MSI. Sorry, that they lost MSI to RNG. Now, I don't think Danny was ever as good as people made him out to be. I think he had massive flaws in his gameplay. Because a lot of the things that Danny did, he wasn't even around a crowd most of the time. Most of the time when he first started. When he first started popping, actually started to play, people remember against 100 Thieves? That was in a bare studio. This is when they still had their COVID protocols going on.
I think that's what happened too. I think from
Nicole, you know we always have your back. Go fuck off, you stupid bitch. Go fuck yourself.
I think from 2021 is when he was on EG, or
2021 summer. So when they faced 100 Thieves in that match where people talk about that just on a play, there was no crowd there. Crowds only started appearing when they lost to Team Liquid in that upper bracket finals, and then they went and did the losers bracket run. That's when the crowds came back. He did one of his biggest plays ever with no crowd there. And then crowds came in, and he got flamed at MSI. He played really bad at MSI, guys. I mean, people want to be a little nice to him. I mean, he played bad at MSI. I'm not beating on the butcher. He was not good at MSI. But everyone knew that going in. Everyone knew going in he had massive holes in his gameplay. Him and Vulcan are going to get exposed by they got exposed by Flacken and Targamas of all people. I mean, it happens, right? They were going to get bopped going to MSI. Everyone knew NA was really weak. Team Liquid Super Team mentally collapses. 100 Thieves, they choke in the finals against them, even though they had looked better than them most of the split anyway. Just sort of horseshit. Danny says, hey, I want a break. Then Danny plays. They get first place in the spring. Remember, you were watching that summer. That was your first play watching. Remember, they finished 15-3. Why did they ever play Kaori? Because you know what people are going to be like, but in a pros who are hyped up in academy usually come up and suck. Kaori was perfectly fine. Kaori was more than perfectly fine. I think if Kaori had played right now in the LCS, he'd be a top 5 ADC. No reason to believe why he wouldn't. He played pretty good. I think Kaori was pretty good, honestly, and they should have played Kaori sooner, right? They should play Kaori much sooner. If Danny's like, I want a break, I mean, why not give him a break? The problem here, they would go, it's summer, it's preparation for Worlds. Literally, they could have played Kaori, and they probably would not even had a different play style. Because when they played with Kaori, when they finally did, they didn't look that much different as a team. It looked pretty much the same. So that's my thing. Now, when Thorn is bringing up the LCS rules, okay, so the LCS rules basically state you're basically playing Russian roulette with subs. What he means by that is, in the rulebook, if you look it up, as an org, you have to guess which positions you will most likely need a sub for. Then, when playoffs officially start, that is locked in. You cannot switch that. You cannot change the people out, right? So what the LCS does is the LCS emergency subbed in Kaori for Danny. But the rules say you can't do that. The rules say whoever they had listed has to play in that position. So Riot forgoes their competitive integrity just to give EG a little bit of leeway. The only reason why they did that was because it's been revealed. Remember that they're playing in the Chicago, right?
Yeah.
In Chicago. They didn't want to see the sub go up there and get bopped because people paid a lot of money for those tickets. I mean, yeah, I do agree with that, but
at the same time,
you can't just break competitive integrity like that. You can't just, because what if that was for any other org right now who was going through that? Would they let Immortals do that?
Oh, hell no.
The only reason why they did it was because they didn't want to crush, they didn't want to let people down because they paid a lot of tickets. They hadn't really been to events in a bit since COVID. They want people to get their money's worth. That's understandable. But you can't just sit there and just make another. You can't just break competitive integrity like that. I'm sorry, you can't do that. First of all, EG should not have a jungle sub when Inspired's the best player on the team. That's dumb. Then they know Kaori is more than capable of playing for Danny. So Kaori's not a sub. It's like, what the now people have theorized. I mean, this has kind of been said.
I truly do believe that they didn't.
They don't want to play Kaori for this one reason. They wanted to keep him playing because they didn't list Kaori because they wanted to keep Danny playing, even when he was basically mentally destroyed. Yep. So they're basically going, yeah, we'll have Kaori be a sub. We'll do it for you, dude. Wait, why is Kaori not a sub for the Teammate TSM series? Paperwork. Even though you can submit it a week in advance, that's how you get your player in. Why is Kaori not playing for the TL series? Paperwork. Bullshit. They just wanted to keep Danny playing so they could go to Worlds. That's what they wanted to do. Because after they beat Team Liquid and they got to Worlds, or it was announced they were that third seed, they played Kaori then. I think they were manipulating that situation with Kaori.
Oh, yeah.
If you looked at Kaori's gameplay, he was more than LCS ready, more than capable of finding playing for Danny. They didn't list this guy on their fucking roster because they wanted to just screw over Danny and have him keep playing when he's mentally gone. Even we watched those series last year. We said, I remember when we talked about it, we were like, that guy looks fucked up. That man looks off as fuck. This man bursted into tears when they beat Team Liquid. You thought Bjergsen be doing that. No, the guy that won the series is mentally collapsed on stage, crying his ass. You're like, that's not normal.
That's mental burnout. I've seen that before. I've seen that in the kitchen.
I've seen that too. It's not good.
I've seen that in the kitchen. I've seen that.
I'll show you guys right here that game because there's when chats started coming on soon, and we were like, he does not look good. He looks just fucking.
The minute I saw that, I was like, oh no! Nah,
what are they doing? And you think it's like, are they abusing this kid? Like, what are they doing to this kid?
I'm thinking, okay, he won, and then
but he looks like the guy who lost the series.
At that moment, I was like, "Why is he crying?" I mean, I thought it was tears of joy. I thought it was tears of joy.
But remember, he didn't hug his teammates. Remember, Vulcan went and hugged Inspired. Vulcan went and hugged Impact. They tried to console him, but it wasn't going. Let me show you guys right here. It's this part right here.
And that's why I tell you, when you are mentally out of it, you don't know because your gameplay effects, the way you are around people. This is why I look at E.G. Danny and then look at Aberdoggy on 100 Seas last year. Well, he was mentally out of it. He wasn't mentally broken.
Yeah, he put up a good face right here. If you watch right here, his mom is crying.
Danny was mentally broken. This was.
He looks. Like he's keeping it together. Yeah, because remember he just got to Worlds. He pushed past like all his issues he had with EG and everything. Now after all that, they go to Worlds. They're good. They're good to go. This man right here, just look at that. That is that the face of a man who's happy that he just won.
You would think he's happy, but I think also you knew he was.
Look at he that is not because he's not even smiling. He's not even. Usually people they'll smile in this situation. They'll smile. They'll cry, but that's just normal. This man just broke down in tears right there.
This was one of those things where this is what I'm speculating they did with Danny. Danny, if you could get us to World, then we'll have you sit. I think. And
that's the fucked up part you're bringing up. Not you, but like that. But he's like, I can't play. I'm done. His brain is fried.
That's why I think happened.
They were basically like, if you get us to Worlds, then we can have Carey come in. They could have had Carey come in weeks ago.
This is what
they
happened.
They just have to list him as a sub.
This is what happened with T.O. in the Super Bowl with the Eagles against the Patriots. Broken leg. They was like, yo, T.O., we need you, man. You're our number one wide receiver. He had a broken leg. And
I remember that. Yep.
And if McNabb makes one throw that goes slightly behind T.O. where he could turn around, he gets a touchdown. And the Eagles might have won that Super Bowl because it was close, even though the Eagles were further behind. It became close because it wasn't a field goal kick to win. But yeah, no. Like
also, you remember that other situation people brought up with that Players Association? Okay, so the players, because you're gonna know what I'm talking about. You know what a union is for a job? Yeah. That's essentially what the Players Association is supposed to be. They're basically supposed to be a players' union, kind of like the international sports. The players are part of the union. NFL, yeah. Okay, because I know people want this scene to be like that. The Players Association is never going to be like that. First of all, it's already contrived in bullshit because essentially the players would have to act against the orgs who are actively paying them millions of dollars because it would basically be you select these players to run the Players Association. Then if like fucking a rookie or whoever gets a new contract, then they would kind of like in theory look over it and they would go, okay, it's good to sign with this org. That was what was said back in 2017 before franchising came in. None of that ever happened because the Players Association is dog shit. Very much dog shit. People actually, so I can't break it down right now because we got to talk about the games itself. But long story short, one of the player coaches for Danny got fired when it was revealed that he kind of, what was said? When he went to the players when EG found out that guy went to the Players Association, he got fired. It's like, what? And people said, why did the Players Association fight back? Guys, the people in the Players Association are Bjergsen, Biofrost, Zion Spartan, and some other two fuckers. Bjergsen is the most passive dude I have probably ever met in my life. He would never say anything bad about an org. Ever. Biofrost for sure wouldn't.
That's why
they have the most passive fucking people running this Players Association, which is supposed to protect the player. Remember, the Players Association main goal is to protect the players.
That's why and it's worth it being passive. When you got team friendly players in that kind of position, this is why people.
But you know why they won't go against Danny? Because people say, "Oh, Bjergsen loves." No, he doesn't. It's not that wrong. Sorry, wrong point. What I'm bringing up is, if the Players Association and everyone running it right now cared about what happened to Danny, they would have said something. Why is the Players Association not made a fucking tweet about this stuff? That's supposed to be an org specifically created for players, like by players for players. But it was still funded through Riot, which is
that's the issue too. That's the issue when it's funded for.
What a conflict of interest that is.
Yeah, when I got a union that's under the same group that also
Riot doesn't pay for it now, but you know when that stopped? Last year.
Think about it.
Think about it. See, it's so fucked up.
That's me. Riot, who has these groups playing, also runs the
players union.
You don't want
then the orgs pay these players millions of dollars, and I'm supposed to believe they're gonna go against these orgs, the one that are paying their livelihood, even when shit hits the fan. Shit hit the fan when Danny and that one guy came to them for help, or that the player coach for Danny came to for help, and I'd imagine they ratted that guy out of EG. I imagine whoever was running it did, and then they got that guy fired. What a player association that is.
That happened to me when this kid had a food allergy, and I told him people about it, and they told me to shush, and I went above their head. I got fired, or no, sorry, it wasn't food allergy. He low blood sugar. That's why I ended up making him food after his bedtime. I was like, dude, I'll get fired, and then
Because remember the story of what happened? Like people said, well, Danny's parents got involved, Danny's mom and sister got involved, and they went to the player association. I mean, if I could have told them that myself that those players weren't going to do shit. Because you have to factor this in. The players, by the player association, by how it's made, they have to go against the orgs itself, the ones that are paying them millions for their livelihood. They would never do that because they know after this year they're going to need a new contract maybe, or they're going to go to another team. So if one of these players went against said org, that person isn't going to be on a new team.
Oh yeah, and get blackballed.
How much of a conflict of interest that is?
You get blackballed to another.
That's why player association has always been a joke. They've never done anything to begin with, and every time they took a stance on something, they always go, "We're gonna do this." They don't see anything. Player association is a fucking joke. I don't understand. I would understand why his mom would think that would do something. These guys don't have Danny's best interest at heart. They don't give a fuck about Danny.
They got the org's best interest. That's the thing. They usually have the org's best interest because you guys think about it like this. The org's best interest is to keep contracts low, players happy to a certain degree, and winning. Like that's why you put in players into the players association who are team friendly. Yeah, I was like that's why I think after 2017, I was shit.
That's why I said, man, like, and the only thing I can bad for EG is like, okay, the only thing that would probably be a lot of their fault is if this org is so rich and is paying millions and millions of dollars for their league roster, you tell me they can't spare a couple grand to get a psychologist for him?
Who owns EG? Who?
They're owned by this venture capitalist group, actually. They've owned them since like 2010, 2011, 2009, I think.
I think with that is I don't think they found it worthy because I think they knew that they were always going to get rid of them. Because if you don't want to help somebody, you don't help somebody. You leave them in this state until they leave themselves. Like I'm in that situation.
Well, it was said that it went up the chain of command, and then when shit hit the fan, it got to Nicole, who's the CEO. Right. Yeah. And then it came to a point where I think they had some sort of like resolution. Like she kind of convinced him to keep playing. But the guy's like, I don't want to. I'm done.
What do you mean? What do you mean by convince? Because convince means we'll give you extra couple thousand.
Well, because people that's why people kept using the word coerce. Or was he what's the word? Manipulated into doing it?
Manipulated or what they could have done just did nothing. They could have easily just all right.
That's how they would manipulate them by what you brought up earlier. They didn't play. They could have easily brought in Kaori weeks ago.
I think, and this is what I believe happened. I think they filled out the sheet for Kaori, and they waited to put it in to after they got to Worlds.
Yeah, because
I've seen that happen before.
To list a sub for anyone that doesn't know for the LCS, you have to in advance do the paperwork before the week of gameplay. So if you wanted to list a sub right now, you'd have to do it this. Basically that Friday going into that week. That way they can be registered, right?
That's why I think
they know this stuff.
That's why I think they did it. I think they did it weeks in advance. I think they knew.
I think they had it done. They just didn't actually put in the fucking work to get there.
Oh no, easy. Because I've seen this happen with athletes. What they do is they'll say that he's doubtful, but he'll still play even though he's banged up. And then what they do is, or in that case, they'll put DMP. In this case, they'll keep on playing, but they know the minute they get to a certain point where he's no longer needed, he's we're subbing this player out for this reason, and then boom. That's how I see it because
I think they did that, and I also think they did have faith in Kaori, which is crazy because of the fact that he was actually pretty good.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good. I think that's the reason why he left too. It's like
I think they
would rather play. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think they did, but I think that I think the amount of money that they were paying Danny, they didn't want to just like let him leave that
Right.
easy. Because you don't sit down a player like in that case who is
Well, it's
probably
one of those
worth
things like
90
you
grand.
throw this guy into probably one of the worst scenarios possible. He's got to play with a brand new team. Finals weekend in front of the biggest crowd ever. Then he loses that series. Then he has to play with them for Worlds. This is a team he's barely acclimated to. Then he has to perform well at the playing stage. Then play in the group stage. Like, he was thrown into the fucking ringer.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't blame him for leaving. I'd leave too. Like, if he didn't look as good as he did, he wouldn't have a spot on Carmine Corp right now. And then his whole career is fucked. All based off this org and how they wanted to fucking treat someone.
And the fucking thing about
that's the fucking part. They could have brought him in sooner. He was more than LCS ready.
You know what the fucking thing is? They ruined 2 careers because they were trying to be greedy. They killed.
You know what they were trying to do? They were trying to sell Danny. They wanted Danny to look in top form so they could sell him off in that off season.
Oh yeah, no, that actually does make sense.
And that's really fucked up. You're not sell this. I'm saying banged up dude. You're gonna sell this banged up player to someone for millions of dollars. Man, I'll snap on this next.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, you sell him to a team, and then he's the 80 carry you can put on your academy team, and then we'll bring up Kaori. And then Kaori's like, you know what, fuck this. You what you did to him, you ain't doing this shit to me, suck my dick. And went to Carmine. Motherfucker went to what the fuck?
Went to the European Academy League.
Wait. That's where
LFL is like essentially Europe Academy.
That means this motherfucker rather play in the LFL than the LC. Damn. Okay, I knew he went to somewhere in Europe. I didn't realize it was an academy.
It was Carmine Corp. It's the very famous French org that Reckless played for until he got back in Fnatic.
Okay,
they're like Carmine Corp is super famous. That's just their thing.
I thought it was like you know, some like
that's how crazy that is. Instead of playing the LCS here with any other team, he was like, you know what? I'll just go be on Carmine Corp and just get a lot of followers and stream and then make millions.
Damn, I wouldn't say they were Kiori's career, but they
really try to fuck him over, and I wouldn't stand for that shit. I'll be out the door right when my contract's up. I am finished. I will be done with that. So that's kind of the last thing I'll say about that until I do my actual video. Guys, EG are just... Damn. People said, will they ever get any fans back? Okay, so when I went to the LCS studio, there was like one guy who was wearing an EG jersey. I have one EG jersey, the one I really, really like that I bought, but I don't think this org has any fans in the LCS. I'm being honest here. I don't think they really have any fans. I think people are a fan of... It's the thing that people are a fan of the players they have. They're not actually a fan of the org itself.
The top 5 teams I know people are fans
100 for sure has fans.
100 Seas, Cloud9, TSM, Team Liquid to a certain
degree. They're people that wear their merch.
They're Team Liquid in surprisingly the 5th org is
TSM, Cloud9, 100 Thieves, Team Liquid. They're the ones that for sure have the solidified fan. That's probably makes majority of the fan base anyway for the LCS anyway.
I saw, and then I see some people on Twitter that are CLG fans.
CLG's old. They definitely have fans for sure. Yeah.
I don't see no Dignitas fans, no more. No, there's
the one Golden Guardians fan that I saw when I went to the studio.
Yeah, there's one Immortal fan on Twitter. I think he was a fan from that one.
Runs that fan cast.
Yeah, yep.
Oh Lord.
I don't see no EG fans. I see no with the FlyQuest fans.
Yeah.
No, there's this one guy. Was a FlyQuest fan too. They let go Jose Dodo or something.
You're right.
He keeps spamming that and fucking Twitch you out. And
I remember that. It was like shine the light because Jose. Oh, that is so
that bullshit. That's the only FlyQuest fan I see before this year. Because now everybody's like, I'm a fan of Speaker and FlyQuest. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, like for me, I always took my traditional sports feeling. Like if I was a fan of the org, then I'll just stay through thick and thin.
That was the same thing with me with 100 Seas.
That's how I'm just with. I know people want to be fans in their own way. That's how I do it. I've been an Eagles fan since I was a little boy. I'm just an Eagles fan. If I'm a Lakers fan as a little boy, I'm just a Lakers fan. If there's years where you don't win titles, that it happens.
You know the crazy.
Just this year we lost the fucking Super Bowl, and I wanted to choke our quarterback, but it happens,
Right? Know the crazy thing is, if I would have stayed a fan of the team I originally started with, I would have been a Jets fan. Yeah, I would have been a Jets fan because I was a fan of because my two favorite players were Curtis Martin and Michael
Did Michael
Strahan.
Vick play for the Jets at one point?
Yeah, he did. After he played for the Eagles.
After he was literally by far and away washed up.
He was decent on the Eagles. By the time he got to the Jets, he was done. He was done by then.
Yeah.
Those 2 years of jail kind of fucked.
All right. Now, like I said before for last week's show, I'm not gonna really always go over the bottom tier teams. Let's do what
we can do like a rapid fire real quick. Did
IMT played a clown fiesta that was actually pretty
45 minutes of Dig should have won in 25, and they literally this is the textbook definition of throwing. They literally fuck up a team fight, and Immortal takes 20 minutes to beat them. These teams are garbage. Jensen deserves better. IMT needs to let everybody go. How do you take two, and then IMT almost threw that game at the 37 minutes?
I feel like that was payback. They should have not won that Dignitas game, and I feel like that Golden Guardians game was them actually losing the way they should have. Because IMT, if you watch that Golden Guardians game against them, I don't know how this team got wins. They've only got the wins they did because a team threw into them. They're not good. They suck. IMT is probably, I know there can only be one 10th place team in the league. I think we have 2 10th place teams. I don't think we have a 9th place team. Because a 9th place team wouldn't be as bad as a 10th place team, but in most cases, right?
Both of them are garbage.
I'm sorry, because
Dig,
our Immortals?
Dig real quick.
Because Immortals benched a Blaze Olive. He's taking a step back
for personal reasons. Dude, no matter what, that whole team's garbage. I'm sorry. Kenry is garbage.
So you want to think happened with the Blaze Olive? Guys, he took that. He left. He's taking a break due to personal reasons because he has no faith in this team. Let's be completely honest here. His mental's probably shot. He's lost a lot of scrims.
I see him on Twitch. He's mentally done. He's done with the team. He's not mentally fried like Danny, but this dude is just like, I can't win with these guys. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I can't.
My top laner's revenge, and my jungler's Kenvi.
Yeah, it's like, and,
Lord.
And with Dig real quick, I feel bad for Jensen. Santorin's washed. Armu is stealing checks. Like, you need to arrest Armu for thievery. This motherfucker is stealing checks. And the bot lane, they're playing league. I feel bad for Jensen. Jensen's going bald. This motherfucker is losing hair in the center of his head. Look, next time you look at his head, he's going bald. Jensen is literally going bald.
They don't change the entire. I feel like Dig's whole roster is getting a revamp come summer. They're gonna keep Ignar because I feel like they're gonna want to probably.
Ignar's gonna be the only one that stays. Jensen's getting the fuck out. Jensen's gonna find the team.
Because you can't I can't. Because realistically, Ignar's look not that good, but I can't. He came in so late, it was already over. You gotta give him a fair shot in summer. I would say that.
And now talking about a team, Jensen could go to 100 seeds. If Beerson decides to retire, I feel like he jokingly said, this might be my last year. Jensen should go to 100 seeds.
Someone said bring back Abadage. I was like, that's probably not gonna happen at all.
Right now, his mind is just not in the league. It's just
here. This is what Beerson tweeted after the CLG loss. This is man,
crazy.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
he said that last week too. He said they were going to work on a lot of things last week. I don't know what they worked on.
I love Beerson reaction to this guy. I love $10 because of you, dog. What you remember? At least he still got a sense of humor. I love that, but my God.
Easy fix. Mix in some early game and better comms.
Nah,
what?
That's not.
That's all I can tell people. That's all I can tell people. Don't watch this shit, dude. People watch those videos. They talk in the early game. They just suck at it.
React, not execute. Most of your team probably it's bigger. It's bigger than
there have been games they have been reactionary. They don't know what to do. There have been games where they'll do early game shit, but they don't actually do early game. It's like they have an idea of what an early game should be. They just don't actually do anything about it. They'll get kills. They'll get a few objectives, but they never push any leads. Yeah. This guy says, I didn't realize you can see this yourself, but y'all got to stop playing for scaling and practice your early and mid game. They drafted that literally against CLG like a few days ago, and they got hard shitted on.
And they're just running right into CLG. Okay, let me give my 2 cents on one of these both game.
Okay, before you do that, for just digging Immortals, we're done with them, right? Because I don't want to talk
about them. They just Ignor's the only safe person. Jensen deserves better. Santorin needs to retire.
Our Immortals,
our Moot needs to get arrested. I'm sorry, he's bad.
For the love of God, bench Kenvi. He sucks. I'm sorry. Whatever this experiment is, whatever you were promised from 100 Thieves, they scammed you. Get a refund for this motherfucker. Get that receipt.
Why do you think 100 Thieves even try to attempt to bring up Kenvi?
It's crazy how people keep saying Kenvi's so good. He's this and that. Why 100 Thieves bring him up then? He's so good. Replace him with a closer. Wait, hold on. What? Yeah, for sure. If you yourself wouldn't replace the fucker, then you are gonna play him yourself.
Okay, before I was watching league games, I was watching more of the challenger games because I was like
here's what I'll say to you. If a guy's coming up to you and being like if you ask him, would you swap out Kenvi for a closer who was borderline MVP level last year, both splits?
I was
you ask yourself, why would you do that?
I'm slapping the shit out of you. Like, nigga,
if you yourself won't actually do it, then you're not as committed to this player either. Immortals has to find the part in Kenfi's contract where they get the receipt, have how much they pay for that guy, and get a refund. This guy is dog shit. It's so bad.
Go back in the contract. Look for at what point can we let this guy go and get rid of him immediately. Immediately.
Not scammed Immortals. That guy is
not tomorrow, bad. Not next week. But now
What if? Okay, I doubt Kenvi gets to play with the Immortals coming in summer. If they keep revenging Kenvi for summer, write the whole year off again for them.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what is with this org and building around Revenge and Kenvi. They're not good. People are like Revenge is a nice guy. He's such a nice guy. What about his league gameplay? But he's really cool though.
Nice guy is cool if you want him to date your daughter. Nice guy don't mean shit playing league. It don't. Like, if you want him to date your daughter, just let us know. Oh, also, I got a daughter.
They have the worst support in the league. Full ass. He's trash. Full ass. He's not fleshy. That's full ass.
Oh no,
fleshy is bad.
Fleshy also stealing checks. Fleshy stealing checks.
Kenvy's been stealing checks for last split.
No. Kenvy ain't stealing checks. At this point, he just straight up robbing you butt naked blind. Y'all had to steal from 100 Thieves and then end up 100 Thieves. They in their name, they're thieving. They're robbing you. Well, it's in the name. It's a Trojan horse. They gave you a Trojan horse. They gave you a player you thought was good, but no, damn well they didn't want.
And it's also shown even in 100 Thieves Academy system, they believed in Busio and tenacity. I mean, Busio's looked. Because we'll go to 100 Thieves now. Guys, I'm sorry. Busio looks pretty bad. When I say he's worse than Fleshy, they're about the same.
They're about the same. I think the only thing with Busio attempts to play at times. Fleshy's just there. Fleshy
attempts to play. He's just extremely bad at it. Busio's just invisible.
Busio does attempt to play with whatever champion they give him. It's just not it.
This is how bad 100 Thieves is right now. They can't even play Caitlyn Lux. Caitlyn Lux is the best bot lane, not only just on this patch, but just a strong bot lane in general. They can't even play Caitlyn and Lux.
Because I think you're right when you said that they're playing the double of comp. I think they're doing that and it's not working.
They can't even do that. If you can't play Caitlyn Lux, you need to get off the stage. How are they gonna have any fact? Because you know how drafting works now for the most part. How are they gonna have any draft strengths if they can't play Caitlyn Lux? They can't draft strong side for their best player if they can't even play the best bot lane.
Yep.
Holy shit. That means they have no X factors in their comp. The only X factor they have is Bjergsen on Zillion. That's it. That's going to get automatically banned. If any team lets it go through and they win and they steal a playoff series, fire yourself. But
this is what I think happens too. This is the only time you'll know if they'll play Zillion. If they get to the third pick and the other team is already banned, they're picking Zillion most of the time now. Like
Videos. Let's go to 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves. They played against CLG and they played
CLG
against
and Cloud9.
Cloud9. All right, so the Cloud9 game basically just goes like this. They drafted 5 losing lanes and they got their assholes literally eaten. That's basically it. So what I'm saying, but how's Fiora weak side? To Jace pre 20 minutes, that is a weak side lane. Sorry. Like Fiora against Jace, works later as the game is scaling up. When it hits past 25 minutes, Jace can duel Fiora in a side lane. Yeah, that's true. But you got to get to 25 minutes in the game for that to be a thing.
No, I think that they do get to 25 minutes.
They just are always behind. All right, so here, they take Sejuani, Aurelion Sol. Like, imagine how Palafox looked on Aurelion Sol compared to Bjergsen. Just the amount of the sheer difference you had there. Like, Bjergsen himself got himself into the Dragon Pit when he really shouldn't have. Now, this was actually a good fight from 100 Thieves. Now, right here, they actually win the fight, and then they somehow lose it, too. Bjergsen goes over the wall with his E, and then now he's just stuck, but he doesn't move because he's scared of a Yone who can't even one-shot him because there's a Sedge and a Lulu next to him. What am I... And he has Flash, too. And he has Flash. What am I looking at? And then he goes over the wall. Why over the wall now? What am I looking at?
You're looking at a team that's broken, who are mentally broken.
I want people to look at how badly Bjergsen just played this. This is horse shit. So first of all, he goes with the dragon. 100 Thieves get the pick. You're like, okay, this is good for them when you're watching this live. Then he drops us all into the fucking air. That shit whiffs. Fucking air balls. James Harden level air balls right there. Then right there, they get poked out. Busio, obviously, Closer can't challenge them now. Elise is going to win the poke battle because she has her spider lanes in her cocoon. Then a Bjergsen flies over the wall knowing they lost the fight and then gives his own life up. For what reason did he have to do that? And why did he flash over this wall and save himself? Can someone save me? I have to... Someone save me, please. And then they drafted 5 losing lanes.
I don't think they drafted 5 losing lanes. I think it just got outplayed.
Well, Aurelion Sol into Yone, that could probably go 50-50.
That's not that's why I said it's not a losing lane. They just got outplayed. There's a difference.
Like Varus, Heimerdinger for the balling for sure. They drafted a losing matchup.
Oh no,
Heimerdinger, Varus to Zeri, Lulu. That is
the Zeri Varus is 50-50. Like from the game that I've seen, Heimerdinger is just disgusting. Heimerdinger is crack. Definitely against when Busio plays Lulu. Now Heimerdinger is like okay.
No,
they're coming to
the NA Jace thing. Like I said before, friend was watching this. I never said that these players can't play Jace. But if a team's playing this badly, you might as well play Jace. Might as well get a free game off of it. Now this is the ideal way you play Jace. If someone picks Fiora, you pick Jason, and if they stop Fiora and CS and early game pressure, then you win. Yeah, because Fiora will outside lane Jace as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Well, you need to get to that point because they lost in 10 minutes. They lost actually in 5 minutes, but you know.
Now it's 10. People are
well, when was that dragon fight? When was that dragon fight? The dragon fight was. When was the dragon fight? Yeah, you're right. It was 10 minutes.
It was 10 minutes. It was
about 11 minutes, and they lost. Then at some point, they're like, "We lost this. This is so over." I watched this, and I was like, "Damn, they'll look like T1 facing bro." Oh god. So like I said before, even the analysts brought this up too. 100 Thieves have a really bad front to back team fighting. It's really bad, actually. Now, the CLG game, I don't even know what happened in this one. I mean, I watched it, but I don't even know anymore. Like, there's only so many issues you can bring up before you're like, are they going to fix any of this shit? Because Bjergsen said they were going to try and fix all this stuff. I think
this is what I think they got to just tank the rest of this this split. Not lose every game. No. Fuck playoffs.
Well, they would have to go 4-1.
No.
Now they have to go 4-1.
MSK. Do you hear what I'm saying? Fuck playoffs. They need it. Like I said, them getting the playoffs might make it worse. They need it right now. They still got Immortals and Dig they got to face. That means they're getting at least to 7 wins. They might have to go 7-11. Like they might have to go 7-11. Just watch. All right. Okay.
They play this week. They have the easiest strength to schedule this week, right?
Yeah. If they lose either one of those games, they just need to just throw it away. Just throw the rest of the no.
There's no way they lose to Dig. right?
You don't. Hey, EG lost to Dig. That's me. I don't know what the fuck. At this point, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But
They should, in theory, they should beat Immortals, right?
they should. But Immortal got 2 wins. I don't know how the fuck they got 2 wins, but they got 2 wins.
100 Thieves, if they still want to make playoffs, they would have to go 4-1. If they win this week's game, they should be so good to go. They can go off what 11-7.
They still got Immortals. They still got Dig. They still got who else they got? They still got
the schedule.
TSM. They still got
let's see for week. What was it? Week 7.
Yeah, they still got
right?
TSM, Immortal, Dig.
They face Golden Guardians.
Guardians.
They beat them before.
No,
and they face Dig.
Yeah,
they have Dig and Golden Guardians to face. Then in the Super Week, they face TSM, Evil Geniuses, and Immortals. Ooh.
Okay, that's me. They at most got 3 wins. That's me. They're gonna be 10-8. They're gonna be 10-8.
If they can go on a win streak right now, they can finish off 11-7. But realistically, if they're gonna be that 6th playoff team,
they got what? No, they got 5 wins, right? No.
Yeah, because the problem here with putting them in playoffs right now, also just
what's their record? They're 5-8, right?
That means that you would have to finish out 9-9 with a tiebreaker.
9-9. I was about to say 9-9 because they can't go
with a tiebreaker if they have a head-to-head. Maybe
11-7. I think the highest they could go is 10-8. That's me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
I think
with 5 games, right? 5 games left. Yeah,
they're gonna have to steal a game from Golden Guardians or EG.
Remember, this is the problem too. Is the
CLG?
These guys look better, right? These guys look better anyway. Because the biggest competition right now is these two. That's the biggest competition.
This is what happened. CLG, they can't get past CLG unless CLG collapse. Because they lost both they lost the tiebreaker. They got the tiebreaker over TSM. That means they can get over TSM.
Oh, they can beat TSM,
They got the tiebreaker over Team Liquid. That's me. Team Liquid was always. If they both end up tied, Team Liquid is
Team Liquid would automatically not. Yeah, because they're lucky they got those games in.
and then with that case, they just gotta catch TSM slipping. They have to catch TSM slipping. They have to.
Because the problem here is they're one game
behind TSM.
Yeah, that match against TSM is very important.
If they lose against TSM,
if they lose to TSM, they're pretty much just done.
No, they are done. Because
if they go 0-2 this week, for sure they are finished.
Yeah.
If they drop both games this week, because based on what Golden Guardians is playing, they theoretically should lose this game.
They should, but wait.
Dig for sure. I know they can beat Dig. They're not that bad. That would be levels of bad. I couldn't comprehend in my brain.
That don't mean anything, man. Like
so this week they should be 6-9.
Yeah, 6-9 this week. Hey, 6-9, get it.
The best chance right now is getting a 9-9 with a tiebreaker. Because I feel like these guys will win on most of the rest of the matches. CLG, they can't catch TSM. TSM's facing Immortals, so And TSM
that'll mean that okay. Both 100 C's and TSM might both lose to Golden Guardians. All right. Now, if TSM is 7-8 or no 7-9, it'll be if there's 7-8 and 100 C's is 6-9. That Wednesday game, that's pivotal because whoever wins owns the tiebreaker.
Right.
Because if 100 C's win, they tie. If TSM wins, they're up 2 games.
Because this will probably be the deciding match for them, most likely. If it comes down to if they have to make playoffs, it's
the TSM 100 game because that right there is either they're tied or they're 2 games behind. If they're 2 games behind, I can't see them making it because the EG is playing at a level where they are so hot and cold. It's not even funny.
Yeah, and the thing here is that CLG and TSM, they can be hot and cold themselves, but the problem here is now that TSM's got that game win ahead of them, if TSM could theoretically finish, 11-7?
Who TSM? TSM losing.
TSM's final games are against IMT, Golden Guardians, 100 Thieves, Dignitas, and FlyQuest.
Okay, that's me. TSM's going to They're going at middle 2 or 3. I don't see them being FlyQuest. The one you see games, I don't see them being it. Go to guard, I don't see them being. Like they're going at 2 or 3. 2 or 3 has to be. They're going to be 9-9. If 100 C's get, the thing is they got to steal a game. If they don't steal a game, they're done.
What you need to, what the team needs to bank on is winning. They need to. I think I said 4-1. They need to at least go 4-1 to have a chance at a tiebreaker for that final spot. They need to go at least 4-1 because that's the same thing. Team Liquid need to do actually.
No, Team Liquid's in the worst spot because Team Liquid got.
And then the problem with Team Liquid is they don't have to head to head. So even if they did go 4-1, there's a chance they miss too.
Yeah, because okay. Go
right there in the middle. 100 teams have a better chance of going through because they don't have to have multiple head-to-heads.
Scroll down real quick. Okay, where's Team Liquid? Team Liquid has already lost to. Okay, they got no tiebreakers. They lost to 100 C's and wait a second. Team Liquid has lost to. No, Team Liquid has lost to 100 C's twice. Yeah. No, they lost to 100 C's.
Right.
And then I think
and then they lost to TSM both times. That's why that's why I said 100 Thieves are in a better spot than Team Liquid because Team Liquid have lost to the other two teams you have to catch up both times.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, no,
they're essentially screwed already.
Okay, go back down to where's Team Liquid's games? Because I want to talk about Team Liquid next. No, okay. Who's he? Okay, left they got FlyQuest, Dig, EG, C. Oh fuck, they got the gauntlet.
That is the hardest from their schedule.
They got FlyQuest. They're not winning that.
Week, that's already probably an L.
Yo, they got FlyQuest, EC9 back to back. Oh, they're done.
They're mega done.
And then they got Dig. They're going to beat Dig. CLG's 50-50. Oh my God, they're
CLG
done.
should beat them. They have the hardest strength of schedule to finish out the season.
TL's done. TL is.
That's why I said they already lost to TSM both times. They already lost to 100 Thieves both times.
They're done.
That's so 100 Thieves for them to get into playoffs. They need to win the last 4. They need to go at least 4-1. They cannot lose anything past 10 games. That is for sure. You're done.
I think if they lose 10 games, they're not in a bad position. They got
lose 2 more games this week. You might as well be done.
To me is this: if they lose that TSM game, that's when they're done. And the reason I say it because if TSM
because this week you said that because theoretically this week 1-1
because go back down the schedule.
Yeah,
TSM and one of the C's essentially play the same schedule. They both play Golden Guards and they both play a team they should smoke. They should smoke them. Hopefully. I think hopefully.
If we get the Golden Guardians, we got the beginning part of the split, it's over for them.
TSM has a harder end of schedule because 100 C versus EG is if they catch EG slipping, I feel like they can beat. I'm not saying they will, but they can. But look at TSM. TSM got one. Okay, they got Golden Guardians and they got IMT. That means they got a somewhat easier schedule because they got us. And then
having a Dig or IMT on their schedule. 100 Thieves has both Dig and IMT for week 7
as 8. Well. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying they're getting their 2 wins from. But the problem here is that they could already be out of playoffs come week 8 by like day 2 if they've lost enough games.
Yeah, that's
they lost enough games before that. Because they said 9-9. Well, that means they can only you can only drop 1 game.
9-9. To me, it was.
So they have to go. They have to win 4 games.
Not 4, it's 3. Like
no, because you'd be at 9. You'd be at a 9, and you could drop a free game, so you'd be 9-9.
Yeah, I said one of the C's could win 3 and still get in. Like I said, that most important game is that TSM game. If they lose that, they're done.
Match of the week.
They are done. Because
the team they have to catch right now is TSM.
Yeah, TSM.
CLG's out. They can't. They already lost a head-to-head against CLG.
Twice. Yeah, no.
Shit.
No, we're not talking about CLG. We're talking about TSM.
Yeah,
TSM.
if they can beat TSM's their only competition to get into the
Because look at
playoffs.
TSM last 2 games after that match against them. TSM, go back down. Look at their last 2 games. TSM, they dig and then they got the fucking
FlyQuest.
Yeah, they got the fucking gauntlet. FlyQuest.
Also, this is banking on the fact that TSM would win their games too. If TSM drop a good amount of games, penalties could sneak in.
But also TSM did lose to IMT.
That is true.
If TSM loses to
yeah,
go back up. Yeah, I think
IMT. TSM lost to IMT. No, I didn't. No, TSM won against IMT.
Who the fuck did
Okay, yeah, TSM won against IMT.
Okay, IMT.
100 Thieves already beat TSM if that's what you mean. 100 Thieves already beat TSM earlier.
Okay. No, sorry. IMT beat CLG. That's what it was. Damn right. Okay.
Yeah.
And both of their wins come against Dig. That's not surprising.
That's not surprising at all.
Okay, because I kept saying this after IMT beat Dig and Dig is still better than IMT. I'm sorry, they just are.
Yeah, I don't believe Immortals is such a fraud.
Yeah.
So that's it for 100 Thieves. They have to go realistically. You need to go 4-1. They can drop one game.
4-1 to be secure.
If they went 5-0, they're going to be in. They went 5-0.
Oh, yeah.
But if they go 5-0, then I might get my dad back.
If they win their Golden Guardian game and they still by some chance, I could see them overtaking TSM.
So what's the other teams to talk about? Golden Guardians got their win streak snapped. That was going to happen eventually.
And the reason why, to me, and I'm kind of superstitious, everybody kept talking about, the streak never went past 7 games. I'm like, and the more they kept talking about it, the more I knew it was going to happen.
It happened to him. It was Immortals of all people.
No. It was Team Liquid.
Yeah. Golden Guardians? Yeah, you're right.
Team Liquid.
Yeah, you're right. Team Liquid.
In the game where River kept saying Team Liquid looked perfect in scrims, I'm like, oh God. I'm so superstitious that when I see signs of something that feels like it's not feeling good, I automatically like TSM's gonna win. No, not TSM.
Because I know Azale on the broadcast that's like Golden Guardians are a championship title potential contender. I don't think so. I think in playoffs they're about to get fucking rolled.
I think they are, but I think they can, but their Licorice is their biggest weakness. They're
about to get fucking rolled in playoffs.
Licorice is about to get exposed like a motherfucker. He's gonna get exposed. He's gonna get exposed. Yeah, no, Golden Guardians streak getting snapped was not surprising. Yeah, I was surprised it was by the team that's all it was gonna be. We could talk about Team Liquid real quick. Team Liquid is...
What does it say? They're finished. Outside of 100 Thieves have a chance to make playoffs.
They have it.
Team Liquid, if they make playoffs, they're getting washed first round too. I don't even want these guys in playoffs anyway. They're about to get fucking murdered in round 1.
This is why I don't want 100 Thieves to make playoffs either. I want them to go back to the lab, go back to the computer lab, sit down, just scrim. You need to get Busio talking. If Busio does not want to talk, you need to have a word with Nayshot, with the CEO, COO. I forgot the guy's name. He was in the video, in their promo video when they were introducing all the team. Introducing the team. You need to get John Robinson. You need to get John Robinson. You need to say I'm either leaving or Busio's getting replaced. Because the only person that is safe to next year is Tenacity. That's me. You got to try to force Beergen to coach. You need to force him to coach or get the fuck off because because
I'm not gonna lie, guys. When I was watching their games, this looked pretty bad.
Beergen,
we're coming up with mathematical scenarios for how they can make playoffs when realistically there's just only a few. But if you look at the actual gameplay,
I don't want them to make playoffs at this point.
It's so bad. It was even worse than I thought. I thought they would at least get their shit together. No, it's worse than I thought. I was getting the benefit of the doubt.
I was the one saying that there's something broken down there where they got.
Like I said before, Closer and Bjergsen were not going to be a good pair. I knew it going in. I knew Closer and Bjergsen would not be a good pair together.
I don't think that's the issue. I think it's Closer tenacity. I think Closer is done.
Closer can't stand up with any of these guys realistically.
I think Closer's done with the babysit kind of shit because it's like, and it's. I think
Bucio's not the hyped up support that people made him out to be. Gee, I wonder who would have thunk that.
I think he. I'm gonna go on a ledge. I think he
maybe if he plays the engaged supports, because I'll need to see him next week when he plays the more engaged supports like Alistar and Leona.
I think he is. This goes sound like a hot take. This might not sound like a hot take. I don't think double lift to him work. I just
didn't think it would either.
I don't think it works.
Most of the things I said about this team have come true anyway.
I think it doesn't work because, like what you said, if double lift has to be protected because his champion is squishy, and Bucio wants to be on support that are engaged support.
Because essentially, double lift has to protect the babysitting. That's probably the best word.
He had to babysit, and then Bucio wants to support everybody. It's not going to work because they don't complement each other well.
Then he can't play strong side picks. Because I said, why doesn't he? His champion pool super suspect. This guy he was basically just playing Lulu. He was basically a Lulu bot for every week.
His champion support is fucking mid.
That's a puddle.
He's a middle laner. I'm like, one of these guys stop getting support that used to be other roles. They gotta stop doing it. It's this is your second support that was a fucking million. At least he's one of those. He has enough experience. You got a rookie that was a mid laner who's now a support. This shit don't work. You can't turn a cornerback into a wide receiver and vice versa. It just sometimes that transition just does not work.
The thing with tenacity that people don't bring up is tenacity was hyped up to be LCS ready. There was Worlds 2021 where 100 of these were already mathematically out, and people said, "Why did Papa Smithy put in tenacity?"
I think at that moment he wasn't. I think he was. I don't think this was the team for him to come onto.
Because either one or two things is true. Either people have overhyped his actual gameplay and potential, because people do that, or this is not the right team to showcase his actual strengths, which both apply. It could be one of two things. It's either he's overhyped, or this is not the team for him.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think it's more that this just isn't the team. I think he needs to be on. I
mentioned this before. Double and Bjergsen teams have a very distinct way they play the game. They just do. That's not going to work for a guy you're trying to bring up from academy and have him be the solo Q star that you want him to be. That's going to work.
I think if the support was like Medios or something.
They need a guy that's like Oda Wamne, who's going to play, who knows he's the weak side guy.
Yeah, I think if they had that would work. And I think
because they're trying to carry through him, and who would have been not going to be a sufficient carry for them.
Who would have been a good support for them to go get if it wasn't Bucio? Because they were.
I know Doublet probably doesn't want to play with Ignar, or maybe. I think Ignar probably is the support for them.
Ignar?
Most likely. That's the person. Because, I mean, there was at one point, Doublet wanted to play with Vulcan, but Vulcan's with EG, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
For sure, he would not play with Huhi. That's definitely not happening.
Doublelift almost did go to EG. There
was that roster: Jensen, Doublelift, and Vulcan. That's crazy.
Yep.
Team Liquid. He would theoretically probably want to play with Core JJ again, like he used to, but that's not ever happening.
There's another world where he's on Team Liquid with Core JJ, and it's not whoever the fuck they got. I can't remember anybody who Team Liquid got at this point. I know it's 5 Korean players, and like 3 of them are overhyped. One is forgettable, and Core JJ's done. He's done. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need to do it anymore. Motherfucker already got a world championship.
Motherfucker got millions of dollars and a wife.
Sit your ass down and fucking coach team. What you need to be doing is getting off the keyboards and fucking coach these guys, because you're coaching them, but then these mother got PL. Matter of fact, okay, we're gonna 100 C's. They, in my opinion, if they lose both these games this week, play whatever game you can win, throw the rest of the season away, get back to the lab, figure out what you need to fix, see if everybody's on board. If they're not, you gotta let them go. Now let's go to Team Liquid. This team's trash. Piosik was this hyped up jungler, garbage. Hayari,
Hyped up academy prospect, just like Kinvi, garbage.
Summit, at times he's looking like he's one of the best.
He has the best laning stats. That's all you can say about Summit. He has the best laning stats. He has great stats. That doesn't mean literally nothing.
Best laning stats, but this motherfucker, anytime he engages, he dies. Just he plays his he can have a full tank champion.
Core JJ's ran it down essentially.
Oh no, Core JJ
fucking split.
Core JJ's done. He's
Please
done.
Mercy on my soul. It's so sad watching this guy who used to be so fucking good.
He is done, and this is not like trash done. Please, when I say done, do not like think I'm calling him trash. I am not calling Core JJ trash. Trust me. I've watched videos where I've learned how to play Tarek because of Core JJ. He's not a trash support, but in this season he's trash. He is done. There's none left in the tank for him. And that's not because of his age. There's certain times when you get to a certain point in your life, you are just done. You can, like, the field you're in, you got to move on. He is done. And who's their 80 carry? Because I cannot remember for the life of me who the fuck it is. Because
Yeon.
Yeon. Every time I turn around, that motherfucker's dead.
Right. He started out strong. He started out actually pretty good, and then it just tanked hard as fuck.
Yep, and it's like I like Yeon when I can remember what his name is, but
like so they have. I mean, they're literally just like 100 Thieves. They have probably even worse issues.
Oh no, they're much worse. 100 Thieves can be fixed by getting rid of people, and it's like they both are looking in the mirror and like we are bad. We got their support. Team Liquid support is bad. 80 carry for 100 Thieves bad. Mid laner for both of them is just bad. Both of them.
Throw them both in the gulag.
Jungler closer is regressed, and Piosik is overhyped. I think what it is too because they're all from
there's good Korean players and bad Korean players.
Yes,
like in any other region, he just is one of the more.
I think
not good Korean players.
I don't think he's like overall trash, but this play ain't helping him.
This is honestly so bad. Like he's playing even worse than I thought he was. I thought he'd be playing pretty bad, but this is bad. This guy got no idea what he's doing on the map.
And to me, Team Liquid was worse than 100 Thieves because everybody thought Team Liquid was a top 3 team. There's motherfuckers putting Team Liquid as number 1. I'm like, over FlyQuest? Okay. Oh, what?
That means I know never to listen to that person talk about League ever again.
At high, I put 100 Thieves fourth, and that was kind of struggling with C9 because I didn't know how their fucking mid laner was. Because when they kept saying that they were not 100% on Diplex, I'm like, you said this, they're going to swap Diplex out this season, and what do you do? Swap them out. Okay. Yep.
It's crazy how, because like people said they could bring in Unforgiven. The issue here is let the roster play out the rest of spring. If they don't make playoffs, they're making changes. I promise you they'll make changes.
Somebody gets sent back.
And like, let's factor this in too. Even if they make playoffs and they get like knocked out the first round and the losers bracket, they would still make changes. There's no world where they don't make changes off anything. They're making changes either way. It just depends on when.
These motherfuckers could get to go 5-0 in the next 2 weeks. Get to the MSI final, and they're still going to make changes because I'm just saying in the crazy world, they're still making changes. There is something there that is broken. You look at these guys, you hear the terms. These guys are broken. Like
these guys all have no faith in each other. Closer is trying to talk them through something. He's trying to motivate them. It's not working. They have no synergy. Theirs and Closer synergy is awful. That's probably the worst mid jungle duo in the league.
I think Closer also is. I think Closer is kind of having PTSD from.
And the reason why I'm not blaming him is because we know how good Closer can be. Closer looks really good last year. All of a sudden, Delvin Pearson joined the team. He looks like not that good. Come on, that's got to be a correlation there somewhere.
But I think he's more broken this year because I do not be surprised if Closer is the first person off the team. Not don't be surprised if Closer just says, you know what, I'm not going to renew my contract. I'm leaving.
And the thing for Busio is, I don't know. Honestly, he's performing about as well as I thought.
He's performing at the rate I thought he was. To me, is okay. To me, it's like was Doublelift a mistake? Was bringing Doublelift out of retirement a mistake? I think at this point you gotta say yeah. I think sometimes you gotta let people go off to the sunset. This is like when Michael Jordan came back to the motherfucking Wizards in 2001. You should have just set your ass. You had the perfect ending. Motherfucker hit the game-winning shot in Utah in 1998. That 1998 could have, you know what I'm saying, in that sense, and you had the perfect shot. Doublelift did go off win the championship, but his last season, he didn't win the championship in the last LCS in the last season, right?
Yeah, the 2021. Yeah,
motherfucker could have walked off of that. Then they could have made a Disney movie off of he losing the world, but he would have all and then they just show the accolades on all his LCS accolades. You can see Doublelift had a Disney style ending the way he retired, because if people ask why I say Disney style, because Disney always could bring out a character and this guy was a lovable loser. He goes to this team, gets beat by his former teammates, comes back and wins and within 2 years win 4 straight splits. It's like you start seeing that, you're like, you really want to come back? And
what's the last thing to talk about? The last thing to talk about, because as most of you guys know, most things are pretty standard this week. The Evil Geniuses FlyQuest game was very fun to watch. Someday pulled out Garen, and I told people FlyQuest have a weak early game. If you attack them in the early game, you can beat them. FlyQuest are not untouchable. Like a lot of people may not be throughout the split.
They're not untouchable, but FlyQuest looked shaky. No, not FlyQuest. Yeah, FlyQuest did look shaky, but EG looked shaky too.
That Garen game, that was Sunday's best game the whole split.
That was his. But guess what? Everybody else looked shaky. If it wasn't for Someday, I think FlyQuest come back and beat him. EG.
Prince made some bad mistakes in that game. I will say that. But like this before, FlyQuest are very predictable. You can beat them. People say no. Yes, you can. FlyQuest literally early game. Speaker just goes top. Words for impact. Immediately just pass mostly around bot. That is their early game. They get Prince out of lane. Then they just win team fighting because they're just better at team fighting and they're gonna push objectives. That's it. They don't actually do anything in the early game at all that's even good.
They do simple stuff and it works. I think EG exploited it. The thing is, it took EG going unorthodox that beat them. And the thing is, you can't keep going unorthodox because if they know that Sunday's best champion might be Garen, they're going to ban Garen. They'll be like, fuck it, you're not playing this. They're going to look at Sunday like, okay, Vulcan was kind of playing Vulcan was mainly playing to get Ela. That means Vulcan was doing some shit where you're like, okay, this motherfucker is going a little too much. We can catch him slipping. Jojo Pion was not good this game. He was better than he was last game, when they last played each other, but he was getting caught out. What the fuck? Inspired was doing his thing. Yeah. Yeah, and FBI was doing the same too.
Inspired played really well that game. He played.
Vulcan was playing like a man on a mission because that whole Winsome thing where he said bring back Winsome, and apparently it was out of context because I guess him and Winsome are soccer buddies.
Yeah,
and I think this is why I say with those kind of messages, you gotta if anybody claps back and you be like, you gotta explain it quickly. Like, yeah, me and him are soccer buddies. I didn't mean anything towards Ela. Me and him are buddies. We became cool and all this.
It's the same thing with Ayla does. It's the same thing. Ayla came in so late. FlyQuest were already solidified. I personally think they should have just played Winsome more.
I do believe so, but if Ayla, that's the same thing I told you. Why would you you said if Ayla is your main person, you should put him in, and then everything. Remember we talked about this. Why would you put him in if Winsome's doing this? You know
The
what I'm
problem
saying?
here is they already committed to Ayla.
That's
the problem.
what I'm saying. Why would you?
They didn't probably think Winston would be that good, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Because you said they should put an Ayla. I was like, no. If Winston is this good, I'm putting Ayla on the academy until the end of the split. Winston showed this motherfucker can hold his own. Like they only lost one game with him. Like, and in the minute Ayla come on, they already lose one. I'm like, in a sense, that's why I'm like, okay. When, like, you know, the whole thing with Vulcan, I wanted to shake his hand. Like, I would have looked at you like, kiss my ass, nigga. Like, no, you like how when Zen was towards who was it? Zen was towards the, I forgot, who was it? Hayari, is it Hayari? Harry on TL. I'm staying here down. I ain't saying shit. I'm not.
Oh, you know when Sven walked past him?
Yeah, because at least Vulcan stood in hand because I'm not extending here. I'm looking at you like, get the fuck out of my face, nigga.
That was probably a really exciting game to watch. That Garen game, that was fun to watch.
Oh yeah, no, that was the game of the week. That was easily the game of the week.
Now people know you can beat FlyQuest. FlyQuest are not this untouchable first place team.
I don't know if I can say it. I think if you catch them slipping, you can beat them. But I think now FlyQuest is going back in the lab. Like I said, they're going back.
Vikla didn't have a good week though. You saw Vikla on Twitter. He didn't have a good week. Vikla didn't have a good week at all.
Yeah, but
I think Gory's had a much better split overall. If you're asking
me. Vikla's been here long enough. I'm still going with Vikla, but I think Gory's catching up. But to me, FlyQuest is each week they are fixing their mistakes. I think now they just got to fix the early game. I think they need to get so far ahead because there were times where they could have got far ahead and they don't scale fast enough. It's like because like you said, their moves are telegraphed where you can tell where they are by 10 minutes, and by the time they get to Baron at 20. You already know how to catch them off where they can't get Baron. They got to steal it.
Yeah.
Like, in a sense. It's like, to me, the only team I feel like that could beat them in the best of three is C9. I don't want to face EG Will because it took a crazy game for Someday to do it and Vulcan playing with blood in his fucking like Vulcan was like a shark in the water. And all he wanted was to eat Ayla. That's it.
The Baron setup when they because FlyQuest lost Baron. FlyQuest's Baron setups have been problematic,
mediocre. The good thing about FlyQuest that will keep them to be above EG. They beat the good team. They beat the bad team when they need to. They're not losing no dead game. They're not coming like. And the thing is, too, EG could get caught at any moment. I mean, FlyQuest, too. But FlyQuest has only lost to teams that are relatively good. They're not, like, in no tight games. Okay, maybe not one versus Dig. But, like, Dig always knows how to play. And they're just, like, but in a sense, FlyQuest definitely, in my opinion, they need to start. All right, but if they get different champions, they gotta do different sets. They gotta learn how to play with like solo Q5, do different champions, know which champion is gonna get banned, which champion might not get banned, and play those things out. EG do not always rely on one player to have a super game because I think they took that someday going off with the Garen. I'm telling you right now, don't think Garen's not gonna get banned now. Like they're gonna look back at their team. They're gonna look at right. What jungler did Aspire have? What mid laner did Jojo Peon have? All right, cool. Ban Garen. They don't even want to take that chance anymore. They don't want to take it. It's like they're gonna ban champions that where they're gonna make you play an awkward game in a sense. That's how all right, cool. And that's pretty much about those two teams.
That's pretty much it for most of the week. I mean, because like I said before, the LCS has been very textbook. Yeah, the only like differences in the gameplay itself is like when a team like TSM plays against Team Liquid or 100 Thieves faces one of them, and you're trying to see like, okay, which one of them is going to make playoffs? Because FlyQuest and C9 are pretty much in playoffs. If C9 win one of their games this week, which they definitely should, they play against EG, and Team Liquid. They have it should have a tough strength of schedule, but
if for champion, you got Gragas. Gragas gonna start. Gragas might start getting auto banned immediately.
Jeez.
Don't be surprised by that. Aurelian's soul is goddamn cracked. Jesus Christ.
Champion's disgusting.
But the thing is, it depends on what there's certain people that can play him, and there's certain people that can't. That's why you have to test that more, because he's not an auto win champion. Like how some people learned, unfortunately, in a sense.
So that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this episode. The Cloud9 podcast. Had fun talking about the LCS. I mean, the only storyline right now is, will FlyQuest win the LCS? Then who challenges FlyQuest? Then it's also who's going to be, are we going to have our top 6? Will 100 Thieves manage to steal that 6th spot from TSM? That's also something to look at too. Remember, if you're Team Liquid or 100 Thieves, you literally, by definition, have to go 4-1, and that might still not even get them into the playoffs either.
No,
even if other teams win,
Team
the rest
Liquid
of their games too.
Team Liquid have to go 5-0. They have to go 5-0 because the issue with Team Liquid, they lost both tiebreakers. They have to go 5-0.
That's true. Yeah,
I
just don't see it happening.
100 Thieves can even afford going 3-2 as long as one of those wins is against TSM. But Team Liquid has to go perfect. If they lose one game, they're done. Because, if TSM, 100 Thieves, and Team Liquid all end 9-9, Team Liquid was automatically out. And TSM is going to be out too.
That's the thing here. That's the storylines for the LCS. And I mean, I've enjoyed watching the LCS. I'm not saying I don't. But the problem here is most of the spring split's already done. Like the regular season. The regular season's over. Like FlyQuest are gonna be the best team.
The top 4 teams are, in my opinion, solidified. It's just where do they go?
All that matters now for playoffs is, does 100 Thieves get into playoffs or they don't? That's the last remaining narrative, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the last remaining narrative. And then it also comes down to who's gonna be second or third. Because if you're Cloud9, you don't want to drop to 4th, because then you're facing FlyQuest in the first round. That would be bad. And then if you're second and third,
wait a second, no, it's top 6. When to be the first 2 teams are gonna buy, or?
I think so. Let me see. Maybe they changed it for this year. I don't know.
Because isn't it the first 2 teams get a buy? That's isn't it 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's 3 versus 6. So you would have EG versus X team. EG versus TSM or 100 Thieves.
Whoever
that'd be the first round.
I'm telling you right now, whoever's the third team is getting a bye. Like, none of those 6-seeded teams are good. Like,
so basically, if 100 Thieves or TSM got that solidified 6th place spot, then theoretically, right now they face
EG.
Right, you face either EG or Cloud9 in your first round.
No, EG. I got no feeling EG will get above Cloud9. I think Cloud9.
Then you have what was it? The next one you said 4th place, 5th.
It's Golden Guardians versus CLG at this moment. Oh Jesus.
Jeez.
Okay.
That's about to be some ass.
Can Sticks say finally
beat his former org?
Yeah, can he do it? That's the question. Can he? I think was Jedi Master who he on the side. He can, because like in a sense.
So that's it. The match of the week coming up for week 7 will be Evil Geniuses versus Cloud9. Cloud9 lost Evil Geniuses the last time around when they played with Diplex, but now that they have a Menace, can they win this time around with a Menace? That's our match of the week. The other important match for playoff seedings would be TSM versus Golden Guardians. If TSM want to be ahead of 100 Thieves and solidify that 6th place spot, if TSM can beat Immortals and beat Golden Guardians, that's a very important matchup right there. So those will be our match of the weeks. Evil Geniuses versus Cloud9 and Golden Guardians versus 100 Thieves. That's very important too. If Golden Guardians drop these games if 100 Thieves drop these games this week, or even drop or even go 1-1.
1-1 is not bad, but it's very nerve-wracking. If they go over 2, they're done. I'm at this point. Like, I'm just like, all right, cool.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. Do you guys still want to win at this point? Like,
And
all
some
right.
people said, well, what if they get in the playoffs and they just turn it around? Yeah, sure. Anything is possible.
I mean,
I don't disagree with that.
anything is possible, but there's sometimes where you can fix it, and and then there's other times where
There are sometimes you seeing these players on stage and it looks fucking hopeless.
it's like you win, but you're standing there like, what am I doing with my life? Like,
All right.
because if I'm Douglas,
Chaz,
I'm like,
what are you going to be doing for the rest of the week?
videos, deck profiles, videos.
Yes, I'll be doing my Evil Geniuses video very, very soon. I finished my Fnatic video. That's going to come out also very soon. Yeah, to finish off on the Danny thing, if all this pans out to be true, and I think most of this is true, I wouldn't put it past some of these orgs to be doing this shit. That's pretty fucked up.
Yep.
Like, and it's more fucked up that Travis wouldn't do anything and say certain shit like, oh, well, my sources, I checked everything and it's okay. Just fuck me. Just fuck off. FFs. FFs, man. Oh, Lord. If the most prolific interviewer in the scene is scared of even tackling the hard button issues, this shit can't go past whatever fucking level we're at right now. And, the orgs have cultivated this state of fear where if anybody speaks out, they just lose their job. It's like, what is that?
Exactly.
I don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore. But I will also say this. The LCS has been doing a great job with content and production this year. I think it's been a pretty good overall year for the LCS so far. In terms of actual gameplay, I don't know. LCS looks pretty suspect in gameplay right now. By suspect, I mean dog shit, actually.
Can you just put Tigers back at the host or not doing what she's doing now? She's good at interviewing people after, but don't make her like.
Oh, her casting is so fucking bad.
It's like I'd rather have Ovely, and Ovely might be swearing every 15 seconds. I'd rather have her. And I don't hate the Tigers, but yeah, like I love when she interviews because she has a bubbly personality that makes other people, even if they're pissed off, she can interview people that lose and still get them to like be cheerful about oh yeah, sometimes we just gotta play better. It's like she has that personality, but she doesn't have the personality to be caster.
Yeah, because I know some people say, but her personality is good for like casuals. What does that even mean? A casual's not gonna know or care.
First of all, a casual might not even be watching the league the way you think they are. Like,
motherfuckers probably listen to the broadcast without even looking.
Like,
but ain't trying to hear the Tigers casting. I'd rather fucking die. And she might be a nice lady, maybe, but that's not about your personality versus what your actual job qualifications are.
Yep.
Her actual job qualifications are bad. She is not a good caster. She is a mega bootleg ghetto Captain Flowers. When she is spitting bars, I don't even know what the fuck this lady's saying.
Yeah, I do.
Shit's a struggle out here knowing what this lady says.
I'm not gonna lie. I be listening to her, and sometimes I just zone out. I'm literally just watching the game like, okay, that was a bad pick. I'll be like, what the fuck is Bucio doing? I just looked at, okay, they're both dead. Like, she was casting what? She was, that CL, no, wasn't it CLG? Or it was one of the C's games she was casting.
Oh, it was the one against Team Liquid. Oh my god.
I zoned out. I'll watch it. I'll watch the game and forgot that she was even talking. I zoned out. I was just there like, these teams suck. These teams suck. Jesus Christ. God. Yep. All right, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Finish that one. This week we can do this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I'm gonna go stream on my other channel. Yeah, guys, it's been, man, that Danny situation. That's just man, I hate people, and like people like I will dominate and won't even talk about it because he knows if he does, Riot will take away his co-streaming privileges because they just try to fuck with your life like that.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers like that who talk such a big game won't even talk about how much they're like, I don't know, man. What's the best way to man? I hate people sometimes. I hate this fucking scene sometimes. People are like, man, I like these players. I'm all about them. Why don't you talk about this Danny situation, man? Dog. Come on, dude.
I love my money, man. I need my money, man.
Oh my lord! It's so painful to watch Dig and IMT. Yeah, I actually fell asleep with the game. I watched a little bit of it. I watched the ending. I was like, man, I don't know how it got this bad, but this looks really bad. How did we get from this to this? Oh my lord. But that is pretty much it, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday to cover the LEC and some of the T1 matches as of late, and then kind of break down why are they the best team currently in the world. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Peace out.